Alright, I have a word for you. And before we go into this word, if you're new to this channel and you are seeing me for the very first time, I kindly request you to subscribe and go ahead and press the notification bell so that you may never miss out on any video that I upload. Very important. Now, I've always encouraged people to have the scriptures with themselves, or after hearing the word, to go back and to read it for themselves and see whether the words that I speak line with the scriptures. It is very important for you. Do not just listen to words and just leave it like that. Go back and read it for yourself. Now, the word that I have for you is make wise decisions, or choose wisely. You have to choose wisely. The scripture says, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Then it goes ahead and says, choose life, that you and your descendants may live. God has set before you life and death, but He even gives you what to choose. He even tells you what to choose. He says, choose life. But you find on many occasions, people make wrong decisions, decisions that lead them to death. Sometimes you may not see that the decision that you have made is a grave decision. That's why you need to read the scriptures, to be directed, to be moved by the Spirit of God. Make wise decisions. The friends that you have, those that are hanging around you, are they the right friends to be around you? Or there are people that are there to lead you to the grave. Choose the right people to hang out with, to speak to listen from. Choose the right books to read. Choose the right TV programs to watch. Choose the right environment. Do not just enter an environment without praying about it. Do not just go into a place without praying, without asking God whether that place is the place that is set for you to be in. Do not just enter into a new season without giving thanks to God. It is very important that you make wise decisions. There are people who just choose partners without thinking about it. Just because he says something good about you does not mean he's right for you. Or just because he's a friend of your friend does not mean he should be your friend. Be very careful of the people that you entertain in your life. Be very careful of who you give access to your life. Not everyone that you give access to your life, not everyone who's yearning for your life really means you good. There are people who are there to bring you down. Do not just call yourself who you are not. Some people have gone ahead to put titles to themselves. You hear them call themselves pastors, and yet God did not call them pastors. You hear themselves put themselves in positions that they were not supposed to be. Listen, there are consequences, because let me give an example. If you call yourself a pastor, I'm giving an example, and you are not, the enemy will attack you at that level. That is the level they will attack you. Some of you are receiving heavy attacks because of the positions that you assumed, because you may not be well equipped to be in that position. Let me give you an example. There was a time when an example of Jesus, when he was born. Of course, for all those that know, he was born, he was a king. But there was a leader, there was a king in that area, there was a king in that place by the name of King Herod. When he knew that there's another king that is yet to be born, this is what he said. He called out the wise men, and in most cases those wise men were called the magi, the wise men. So he called them out and he told them, go and inquire, go and visit the king that is yet to be born. Go out. He sent them out so that he can go and worship him. But listen, Herod had no intentions of going to worship the king. His intentions were to kill the baby. Imagine how diabolic that is. Because he knew that there was another king yet to be born. So he wanted to kill the king when he was a baby. But of course, Jesus is Jesus. His parents were told about the plot, and they left the area, they left the land and fled to another land. So imagine it was somebody who did not know that person would be killed. Imagine it was somebody who assumed another position that is not his. You call yourself a king and yet you're not a king. But Jesus himself was a king, and he is the King of Kings. Another example is King Ahab. King Ahab went to battle, and before that they had prophesied of his life and told him that if you go to battle, you will be killed. But he did not listen to the words of the prophet, because he did not want what the prophet said, because he never wanted the words of the prophets. He hated the prophets, so he despised the words. So he went on to battle, and this is what Ahab did. When kings go to battle, they put on their garments, and you can know that this is a king. So Ahab wanted to fool the enemies. He removed his garments and put his garments onto somebody else. So as their enemies were pursuing and they were battling it out, they looked at somebody who had the garments of the king. So they pursued that person until they reach and they realize this person is not the king. The king is somewhere else. Now imagine they had done harm to that person. That's why you see it is very important. If you are called to be somebody, be who you are. Do not copy other people. Do not try to be like somebody else. Make wise decisions for your life. When God tells you to do something, do it. Do not ask questions. Do not say, oh, why me? Do what you are told to do. Make wise decisions for your life, and you will be preserved. You will be kept safe. I'm getting out of time, and I thank you everyone who has watched this video and who keeps on commenting. For those that keep on commenting, I thank you all, and I pray that for those that are going through difficult situations, that you may receive your breakthrough. Be blessed.